All right, for those just tuning in, we just wrapped up our game with the World Eaters Demonkin versus the Dark Angels. Final score, Demonkin 77 to a Dark Angels 69.
Nice.
So we talked a little bit about this, so we kind of got already kind of head start of our feelings into it. Dark Angels, you felt like you needed more units.
Yeah, the units were strong, and that's really when I built this list. I was really testing it to see, just how the units perform in Librarius, and they perform very well. The Deathwing Knights and the Inner Circle Companions are very durable, hard to kill, and they slap really hard. Yeah, especially when we are in. I think with Dark Angels, I don't think there's any other detachment where you can give them a plus on their strength. Or a lance, because like Blood Angels can go +2 strength in Liberator Assault Group. So I don't know if there's any other way to do that. So it's hugely relevant into your Blood Crushers because they're T7. Mm-hmm. So when I put Azrael and the Inner Circle Companions into there, we were, oathed. It was a character unit, so they're hitting on 2s. They had lethal naturally and sustained from Azrael, and they got up to strength 8 because they're naturally strength 6. And with the strat, if they're within 18 inches of a librarian, they get +2 strength because we were in biomancy with strength 8. So they went from wounding on 5s to wounding on 3s, which is a huge breakpoint, obviously. And they slapped the crap out of those bloodthirsters. It was very satisfying. Azrael didn't even get to swing. The rest of the Inner Circle Companion just finished them off. So I think the durability on the Deathwing Knights is really strong. Inner Circle Companions, just a neg to hit, and the embalm makes them strong. Not getting the +1 to wound from other Space Marine chapters that are Codex compliant is kind of a bummer because there's no lance or anything. It's just the extra strength, but they were durable and slapped hard. I just didn't have enough scoring units. I kind of got stuck out in the open. I had abandoned my home field objective because I was busy trying to block out your deep strikes. So I didn't score any primary at all in turn 5. So misplay on my part, but again, didn't have as many units as I wanted. But yeah, how did you feel about your demons?
So felt much better today than I did last time I played. I listened to some of the things that people were throwing out to me with the Blood Crusher. That I think I played this a lot better in that sense. You denied my deep strike. There really wasn't any places for me to get in the backfield for like behind enemy lines and stuff like that. The only way I was going to be able to do it was on the table. But I was also able to play KG and bring you out because of silly units like this with the Jackals, having the 30 Jackals. With silly units like that are able to be out there. And I need Goremongers, and we'll talk about that more in a second here. But having those bad units that are out there force you to have to bring things out there that to cancel them. Like the scouts, realistically, the scouts were probably not a match for the spawn for 10 jackals on the charge. If you were able to shoot me, charge me, and fight me first, you probably pick up the jackals and not even sweat. But being able to charge you first with access to grenades, strat, plus their auto pistols, and then charge with blessings, I could probably just clear the scouts off there. So it's silly stuff like that. Allows those things to have to draw other things that would punch up. And then that gives me time to get the Blood Tithe going. And that was a huge, huge part of this game is because the Blood Crushers I held back. I hit just to clear and then trigger and get some Blood Tithe points. Skarbrand came in and then hit just to clear, generate Blood Tithe points. And then when my go turn wasn't until like turn 4. So we were that late in the game before I was actually like, and let's go. But then when I came out there and you had the Bloodletters coming into you, you had a 4-up invul, you had a 5-up Feel No Pain versus Mortal and Psychic attacks. And now they're getting Blessings of Khorne on top of it. So now we're looking at lethal and I'm going into lethal and sustained with guys that have +1 charge. The Blood Crushers, they got smashed because once they were there and you had those 2 units, you're like, these are going away. I'm taking these out. Figure out what you want to do with everything else, but these are gone. And Azrael just made sure that his squad picked them up. But I got a lot better mileage out of the Blood Crushers today, being able to do some impact damage, tie up the Terminators, kind of hold you from getting into center for a little bit, and definitely helped clear the first Inner Circle squad that charged me. Definitely huge Huge shout out to them for that. They did really well there. Scarbrand MVP, definitely MVP this game. Everywhere he was going, he was just smacking and picking things up. And the Demon Prince did really well too. The plan was with the Jackals to be able to extend the time that I could have him under lone op before he fell out of lone op. And again, that wasn't until turn 4. And he was able to smack as well. The Devastating Wound, flat 4 damage, came into effect multiple times. And more the devastating factor, and just pick up some things until he went down eventually. Toughness 10-10 wounds. I mean, you do some chip shots, he starts to fall apart. But he did some work. So I was much happier with this. My biggest disappointment actually was the 8-bound. I did not like them at all in this. And I kind of feel like just dropping them, I can swap over to another squad of, I got a couple options. Fleshhounds are 75, Spawn are 80. I do have 10 points left over. So I do have that extra wiggle room if I wanted to go 2 80-point units, because the 8-bound are 150. Or try and figure out some Goremongers, because having a unit that can 8 dudes that can infiltrate out on a point, that's going to be huge for being able to pick up and then if they get destroyed, bring Bloodletters down over there. That's huge. So I really feel like maybe switching over to another squad, go back to this 2 squads of Spawn, and maybe take a squad of Goremongers and have all that stuff out there to try to get me some of those Blood Tide points to then push like that is kind of a direction I'd like to go more. So.
Yeah, you're saying Scarbrand MVP, but I think it was the little units, is the Bloodletters and the Fleshhounds, because once they get buffed up and all those, they're getting all the blessings, they are so good for how cheap they are. Just keeping them around to the end of the game. Is it 75 points for the Hounds and 90 points for the Bloodletters? Yeah, when they have a 4-up invul and then a 5-up Feel No Pain to Mortals, and then they're sustained and lethal, it's just hard to deal with them, and then they slap way harder than they should. And you have a really good strat to bring some back. That really paid off for you. Rolled hot on that today because you brought 3 dogs back when you rolled that
5
on D3 and filled the 5.
The 505 of the Bloodletters too. Yeah.
That was a big deal today. But just by the end of the game, those cheap little units, so strong, so hard to kill with the 4-up invulns. And so hard to they hit way harder than they should when they're getting the lethal and the sustain. So I thought those were causing me the most problems. Obviously, Scarbrand's going to be a problem, but those guys, I'm like, well, it's only 75 points. How many of these dogs do I have to kill? The answer was 8. Yeah, I killed 5, then you brought back 3, and then 7. I had to kill them again.
7. But yeah, they did definitely do well. And then the Bloodletters, they existed and didn't get shot down because of the buffs and the defensive buffs to keep them around. And they cleared the scouts, burnt an objective, finished off your Stern Guard. Definitely I'll put the Fleshhounds higher up on that because they got hit by the Assault Marines, your Assault Intercessors, walled them, came back, took them out. Stern Guard come in, walled them for a bit, then they got taken out then. So yeah, they did well.
They essentially solo defended your home field objective and prevented me from taking it from you.
They did a really good job of that.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But Scarbrand, it was just the fact he landed, and then he's like, okay, my Blood Legion +1 attack. So that helped for the Bloodletters to make sure scouts go away. And then him being there, and it was almost came up, almost had it. First time I would have done this. Because we had the 4-up invuln for all my demon units, I was in 6 inches of my Jackals. And I was watching them like, okay, cool. When he charges me with the Terminators, I'm going to spend a command point, and I'll have a 4-up invuln with the Jackals because they're within 6 inches of a Blood Legion model.
I'm not following any of this, so I hope you guys are.
So basically, once you have that 4-up, there's a strat that you can then confer. Basically, your army, you confer demon abilities to the World Eater units. As long as you're within 6 inches of one of your Blood Legion units, which is your demons, you can confer abilities for a command point. It's a 5-up invuln. But if you have the 4-up invuln running, you can then trigger it over to a 4-up. So those Jackals, those T4 little Jackals, 10 dudes, could have gotten charged by the Terminators and sat there with a 4-up invuln and looking at them silly going, haha, we have a 4-up. And one survives, and next thing you know, the Terminators are just standing there looking at this one dude and going, well, good game, guys. Good game. Scarbrand still got in there and did some whooping and walloping, which, that's what we're here for. So I'm a lot happier with this. Let's just get this box over here for it. I can put all the
all
the jackals and that for you.
Yeah, I never agreed to this. He made all this stuff up
Jackals.
without talking to me about bets
Jackals
and
in
wagering
this.
and things.
This will carry them nicely. It's good and stern. I like these boxes from Games Workshop. They're solid. They'll carry my jackals nicely. So we'll do good with that.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, next week I got something interesting I'm playing. So tune in for that. We're going to be bringing something somewhat silly with Necrons, but I want to. This is the silly beginning point, and then I'm going to be taking some time working and seeing what we can make come up here. The next thing, not all characters though. We're going to have quite a few characters still, because it's Necrons. We got a lot of characters. So, all right, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.